Hi, welcome again to another episode of Goalpost Gossip. I'm your host, Alton, and this is the podcast where football meets banter. Yeah, football meets banter. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Today, we're going to start talking about Premier League, and we're going to be talking about the great and mighty Liverpool. Liverpool has been handed their first loss since the beginning of the Premier League season. And I I don't know what to say in regards, but I say this to say that I've been talking about Liverpool defense all season so far, I should say. And I know they don't look impressive. They are vulnerable. And since of lately, Liverpool is becoming Crystal Palace's beaten stick. Yeah, Crystal Palace just know how to, rub salt in the wound. And I've been saying that Crystal Palace did what all other teams should have been doing all season because Liverpool been getting away. We know that Liverpool been scraping by and they've been getting away. So now Crystal Palace really show them up. I show other team that hey, they are not mighty. They are not mighty Liverpool. They are the defending champion, but stop fearing the name, man. Stop fearing the name, take your chances and make use of your chances. And that's exactly what Crystal Palace does. And Liverpool got beaten. There was also chaos and talking points in that game also where, the goal was scored in extra time of extra time. I believe the time was valid because there were changes that made in extra time and, there was a lot of time wasting. So the referee did gave it back. And I'm pretty sure that when Kaiser scored that goal, Liverpool thought that they salvaged a point or something. But yeah, Crystal Palace have the final say. They know how to. They know how to do you, man. They really know how to. So Liverpool got beaten. Defense horrible. They always looking shaky whenever they're defending. When they have the ball, yeah, they look really good because their attacking force is very good. But when they don't have the ball, you can give them 20. You can score 20 against Liverpool. And people are talking about Crystal Palace, the way how they play football, but that has been their identity. Crystal Palace is not possession football club. We all know that. Crystal Palace, they are attacking team, and that is their history. That is how they ever been. They play the ball over and run it down, and that's how they play, and they're being very successful at that. So, kudos and congratulations to Crystal Palace for whipping Liverpool. We greatly appreciate it. Arsenal came back from behind and won against Newcastle, and they also won that in extra time. Also, Arsenal, I have to give credit where credit is due. Arsenal is looking the better team in the Premier League so far, to be honest, even though they got beaten. But, I mean, every game that they play, Arsenal just kind of bring that flair and bring that control to a game that they play that I don't see the other teams doing it week in and week out, Do I want Arsenal win? No, but, fair is the fair. I'm not going to be too critical of them. They played very well. Newcastle played very well too, and I think that Newcastle also deserved to come away with something in this game. Unfortunately, the same thing that happened to them in the Liverpool game happened here again, where they concede very late goal. But Newcastle is a force to be reckoned, man. Newcastle is they're doing good without Isa. They're doing good without Isaac. So, no Isaac, no problem. Newcastle is Newcastling, you know what I mean? And they're playing very, very attractive football, So, I expect to see Newcastle if continue with this positivity, and I could see them excel this season again. And they lost their first game in Champions League, but, I mean, that's against Barca. But, so they have chance of bouncing back because Newcastle is a very good team. So congratulations to Arsenal. Boo! Congratulations to Arsenal. Um, there was drama in that game as always. Yeah. Um, the pushing and the pulling between Gabriel and the striker from Newcastle, you know. Um, and he also said that he will not forgive Gabriel for, you know, yeah, Gabriel deserved a card for that. That was off the ball. That was unnecessary. But it's football. It's physical, and it's a mind game. The more you can get under the skin of your opposing players, it's the better. You know what I mean? So Gabriel was doing things to taunt him, and then Gabriel came back and scored that winning goal. That was great. That was good for Gabriel. That was good for Arsenal. But that's them. So congratulations again to Newcastle. On the other side, Manchester United, being Manchester United, they struggled and they get trashed by Brentford. And that was my prediction. I was expecting Manchester United to get trashed. Congratulations, Manchester United. And keep your coach. That's the best coach ever in the Premier League, and you guys deserve that coach. Give the man an extension. Stop talking about sack and all that stuff. Any sack we talking about is Saka. Not soccer, but Saka. But yeah, Manchester United got trashed by Brentford as expected. Brentford's style of football is like the same style of football like Newcastle. They play counter-attacking football. Very successful with that. They've been doing it to dominate, to like hurt teams. Not dominate, but to hurt teams. And Brentford is going good. They did a very good favor for me. Um, There were a lot of late goals in Premier League this weekend. There were like a total of 8, which is record. That's the most late goal in the weekend of matches in the Premier League. Yeah. So they saving it for last, I guess. I think a lot of these are coming from poor performances from some of the other teams. Some teams just sit back and put 11 players back there and just decide, hey, guess what? We score 1 goal or it's 0-0. We're just going to defend this with our life. We're not leaving without a point. But, good teams find ways of breaking down other teams. And hence a lot of late goals. Talking about late goals, I must say rest in peace to Chelsea. Rest in peace to Chelsea. I can't even look at the camera by saying this, But Chelsea do get hammered. Chelsea get hammered. What is going on in Chelsea? I don't know. But week in, week out, our discipline been terrible. I mean, Santos deserves to be benched for a couple more games. Like maybe 5 games he deserved to be benched for that error. Like, that is not a professional error. I'm sorry. That is an amateur error. Like, you facing forward, you turn back facing your goal, putting yourself under pressure. When you got time facing forward where you could have played the ball forward, but you decided to turn back. Knowing that it's only your goalkeeper back there who is not that You understand what I'm saying? Like, your goalkeeper is the only one back there. You had a chance to play the ball forward, but you decided to turn back to play the ball to Sanchez? Sanchez? Come on, man. Then in the process, he slipped. He just got bumped into, and he just was so light and so, weak. He just fall to the ground. And there goes Newcastle. Trevor Chalobah tried to make up. Very slow. I don't know why we always get some slow defenders. They're so young and so slow compared to other teams. Other teams got some jet defenders. What happened to us? Why our defenders are so slow? Trevor Chalobah take 400 years to respond. And then by the time he responded, he was already 400 years behind. I personally think that was a soft foul. It was a soft foul. I really think it was soft, but nevertheless, it was given. he made contact with the player, but it was a it was so tiny that even a baby could withstand that. You know what I mean? The player felt it and he just went over. And I felt like if the player, because the player tried to advance, and then when he realized that maybe he would not caught up with the ball anymore, he just flop. You know what I mean? He just fall over, which is horrible. But I would say very terrible decision by Andre Santos. Unfair play by the attacker, and slow recovery by Chalobah. It was just mess. It was a mess all over. So I don't have much to say about Chelsea. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. They do have a Champions League game against Benfica. So yeah, Jose Mourinho is coming back to Stamford Bridge after so many years, I guess. So let's see how Chelsea will react to this game. If Jose Mourinho get a win there, man, that would mean the world to him. Chelsea, we can't keep messing up, bro. And as I said, this is the last chance Maresco have to make mistakes. This is the last chance. You know, I know we've been plagued with injuries, but God, man, I'm sorry. We were deemed to have a very deep squad where, you know, a couple of injuries here and there wouldn't or shouldn't affect us this bad, but it is rocking us, man. I still think that Chelsea do have the potential to win stuff. Um, and the problem that I have with Chelsea, their scouting managers and their, you know, whoever is getting these players is that you got to balance the team with experience and youth. And I know y'all try to build something, but man, we the fans don't have 5 years to wait for a good performance and winning trophies. We, we we the fans don't have that, man. We need Premier League and we need Champions League. We don't have 5 years to wait for these players to develop and get all this confidence and grow into their position. No, you need to get established players to help and groom these young players that you have. We can't be having a full squad of 30, 35, 40 players and all of them are average age 22 years old, 23 years old. Like, come on, man. And the inexperience and the youthfulness is really, really showing. You know, it's really, really showing. I saw something online that someone was making fun of Chelsea where they said that Chelsea raided Brighton and take all their players and forget Danny Welbeck. You know, Chelsea seen Danny Welbeck as they were seeing him as a whole player. You know what I mean? He's old, so they went for the younger. But look, Danny Welbeck been hurt in Chelsea time and time again because he shows his quality, he shows his experience. So we need a few people in the squad with experience that can lead this team, man. This team is stressing me out. It's stressing me out. So yeah, with Benfica coming there for a Champions League, I think tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Do you think that Jose Mourinho have the secret, the sauce, or do you have what it takes to pull off a win against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? Let me know in the comments below. You know, because I just think that Chelsea is still going to win the game, but you know, it is what it is. Also, for this Champions League week, that PSG Barca is supposed to be the most exciting game of this week. I am looking forward to that game. That game will be hot, and it's on Wednesday. Yeah, that game will be hot. Let me know who you think gonna win that game. Barca looking good, PSG looking good. A lot of pundits are saying that PSG will be defending their championship, defend their Champions League title. I don't think so. I don't think PSG will be good enough to defend their title this season. I don't think so. Barca is looking good. Real Madrid is looking a little shaky. Talking about Barca and Real Madrid. Real Madrid got trashed by Atletico. Julio Alvarez is one of the players that I really think that Chelsea should have pursued when he was leaving Manchester City, but we don't go for established people. We try to go for potential, and it doesn't always work like that. Alvarez shows his quality, man. He shows maturity, he shows his experience. He's scoring in and out, and they trash Real Madrid like really, really bad. Yeah, it was very bad. 5. It was very, very bad with all of their star players on the field, and Atletico was still able to demolish them. So rest in peace to Real Madrid also for this week. They got trash. Yeah. Congratulations, Atletico. Barcelona is looking good. Barcelona has been scoring goal. Rashford looking good over there. And Barcelona, I think they are a point. I think they're just 1 point away from the top. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I fact check myself when I'm doing this edit, but I think they're 1 point away from the top. Barcelona is looking good. Yamal is back from injuries and he looking positive. So yeah, Barcelona is on fire. Um, Also, let's talk about Harry Kane has reached a milestone by scoring 100 goal for Bayern. I mean, Hurricane. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hurricane is a beast. Chelsea missed out on opportunity to sign Hurricane again, but we are looking at his age, not looking at his experience. Take the guy and give the guy a 3 or 4 or 5 year contract. Maybe a 3 year contract, and with hopes of extending based on his performance. We know Hurricane gonna show up. It doesn't matter where Hurricane go. Hurricane show up for England, but they still haven't been winning nothing. Hurricane show up for Tottenham, which never win nothing with Hurricane. But even though he was showing up like real big, Hurricane showing up for Bayern, man. Like, and I feel like they're one of the strongest team in Europe, if not the strongest team. Um, so Bayern are looking good with Hurricane. Um, he's just a scoring machine. He's just a scoring machine. And I'm happy for Hurricane, man. I don't know. He won a trophy over there in Bayern for the Bundesliga, which was good for him. But Champions League, I still think Chelsea gonna win Champions League. I don't think Hurricane gonna get that under his belt no time soon. And he's 30 something, so yeah, time is running out. But Hurricane is doing Hurricane things by scoring goals. Yeah, he's scoring goals. And I will finish off this podcast by talking about the World Cup, upcoming World Cup, where fans were online voicing their opinion about the ticketing system. The ticketing system keep crashing, they can't access it, they can't check out if they access their ticket. It's a mess. FIFA, get it together. You don't have a lot of time. Get it together, okay? And we're looking forward to World Cup, and we counting down, right? This will be an exciting World Cup. So once again, I'm your host Alton. Thank you for checking out this podcast, this episode, the podcast where football meet banters. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think about your team and my team. Tell me who you think gonna win Premier League and the Champions League. Tell me if you think that I'm wrong. Put it down below. Give me a like. Yeah, give me a like. Thank you again for checking out. Peace.